after a few months of waiting, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury is finally out on the Nintendo Switch. I've been really excited to play this since I never got a Wii U, but I did play Super Mario 3D Land when I was little and loved it. And now I can finally play the second, much better one. And on top of that, I get to play Bowser's Fury, which is a more traditional 3D Mario with an open sandbox style, except this one is open world. So without further ado, let's take a look at Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. And warning, there are minor spoilers for both games. The story of 3D World is quite simple. Bowser captures a princess, but for once, it's not Peach, but instead, it's the Sprixie princesses. The gang is just walking and looking at fireworks, and then they see a clear pipe, and a Sprixie pops out and informs them of Bowser invading their kingdom and capturing them. A split second later, he pops out of the clear pipe and captures her. Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Toad go in the pipe and end up in the Sprixie kingdom where they now have to save them. Unlike the other 3D Mario games, the world is more linear and straight to the point. The other ones, like Odyssey or Sunshine, are more open with big areas to collect things, while 3D World and Land are basically mixed between the more linear 2D games, like New Super Mario Bros. DS or the OG Super Mario Bros., and the sandboxy games like Mario 64 or Galaxy. The courses are usually small, with some being more open and large, with a bunch of collectibles, and this game has a lot of collectibles. 3 green stars and a stamp in each course. That may not seem like much, but usually they're hidden pretty decently well. Some not. Some are just sitting on top of a mountain you need to climb with your cat suit, but to complete the game 100%, you need to get all the stamps, all the green stars, and touch the top of the pole on every course with every character. And there's 5 once you unlock Rosalina, which will unlock a few surprise levels. The movement feels a lot more restricted, with only 8 directions. Like, even 3D Land had 12. Like, come on, Nintendo. Why? But it still feels great and fitting for the levels, and the courses are designed incredibly well as most Mario games are. And the multiplayer works even better. Personally, I haven't played it yet since I don't have friends, but from what gameplay I've seen and what I've played, the levels seem much more tailored for multiplayer than the 2D games. I hated multiplayer in New Super Mario Bros. Wii U and Wii. But I gotta hand it to Nintendo. The courses have a lot of unique ideas and returning ones. Most levels feel really good and different from each other. Something the, can't say. The world map was also changed a bit, and I really like it. Instead of being a side-scroller, it's a 3D map that you're free to explore. There's not much to do. The only things you can really find are a coin or a 1-up, but I really like it, and it's much better than a 2D side-scroller with a lazy background. And the new snapshot mode. It's kind of fun to mess around in. Not much to do though, doesn't add a ton, but you can freeze everything to move around and take a cool picture. It has a bunch of different filters, you can add the logos, and you can stick the stamps everywhere that you already earned. It doesn't add much, but it's cool that it's there. So the gameplay is 3D linear Mario. In short, very fun and well designed. Before we get to the music, I wanted to talk about the sound design. Most Mario games have really good sound design, and this game has it. All the effects and voice recordings sound really high quality. And it's still pretty generic Mario sound design, but Mario's sound design has always been really great and fitting, and this game has it. Now the music. The music is incredible. Like Mario Kart 8, it goes for a jazzy style, and I love it. A lot of this game's music is new and awesome, and this came out at a time when Nintendo was just mass releasing the new Super Mario Bros. Games, which reused music so much it got so annoying, and it was all the same music, just generic bubbly Mario music. This game has some incredible new tracks, like Double Cherry Pass, World Bowser, and Super Bell Hill. It also has some redos of old music like Slider and Super Mario Kart's theme. but the other ones are still really good and fit the levels perfectly. I'd say this game or Mario Kart 8 had the best Mario music on the Wii U. I'll play some of the other ones that are still good. This game feels tailor-made for multiplayer, with courses feeling much better to play. Some are still linear enough to make it a bit difficult, but if the other players know how to play, well, there shouldn't be many problems. I tried it with a friend and it worked really well. We had a lot of fun playing it. Haven't tried the online since nobody I know owns it, but it seems that it works decently well if everyone has a good connection. So the game is definitely a great multiplayer game. You and your family or friends will have a good time playing. I'd still recommend playing it solo the first time and then playing multiplayer after, but I strongly recommend playing it with friends. Boss fights in Mario games are usually very simple with little differences. Hit the head 3 times and it's over. This game still has some of that with the Boom Boom fights, but a lot of them are really creative and felt fresh from the normal Koopaling or Wedding Planner Bunny. The first Bowser fight isn't just to sneak past him or activate an axe and smack him on the head. He's in a car, and that's all I'll say about that one. Some of the others are a jester or something that turns into a giant metal monster, or a giant eel of sorts. So all of the boss fights except the Boom Boom ones felt really unique and really good. Before I talk about the final boss with Bowser, there are spoilers, so if you want to skip to the Powerups section to avoid spoilers, the timestamps will be in the description. So the final fight. I love the final fight. It felt really cool and well thought out. The power-ups you used in the main game are now being used by Bowser, or well, Meowser. He turns into Cat Bowser and eventually uses a bunch of double cherries, and you have to climb this tower to get to a giant POW block. So this is probably taking the trophy for my favorite final Bowser fight. So now the power-ups. Most of the ones from 3D Land are here: Tanuki, Fire Flower, and Boomerang Flower. But the main one here is the cat suit. This will transform Mario into a cat, well, kind of. He can swipe to kill enemies, and he can climb walls and has this weird pounce fly thing, I don't really know what to call it. And the double cherry is also a new mistake by Nintendo. And what I mean by that is that an employee accidentally placed a second Mario, and everyone loved it and turned it into its own thing. This will add one Mario, and if you get another Mario will appear. It's complete chaos, but fun chaos. It's very difficult to move around, but I really like it and it was really creative. The power-ups in this game are very good and pretty well balanced. The story of Bowser's Fury is not about kidnapping for once, but instead about Bowser and his son. And from what I've seen, Bowser crashed on Lake Lapcat and became furious, spreading his weird black goo everywhere, and Bowser Jr. is freaking out and somehow convinces Mario to help him stop Bowser. So then you embark to get the cat shines to help defeat Bowser. Bowser's Fury is actually pretty different from the others. Ones like Odyssey and Sunshine are open with multiple things to find, but Bowser's Fury is open world, and it's incredible. There are 12 different islands with 5 cat shines to find on each, and in the middle of those islands is a Giga Bell. It will require a certain amount of cat shines to unlock, and once you get enough, you can fight Bowser to unlock more islands. Each time you return to an island, a new cat shine task will be waiting for you until you get 5, which there will be none left to find. They can vary and are usually very short and easy. Another thing I like is that you actually have camera control instead of a fixed camera like in 3D World. Every few minutes, Fury Bowser will come out and start going crazy. He'll shoot out blocks and fireballs toward you. and eventually a Fury Blast, and some shines are hidden behind Fury blocks, so you use that blast to your advantage to get that shine. To stop Bowser, you have to get a cat shine so the lighthouse will make him go back inside his shell, or he'll just go back by himself. I think the gameplay is really fun, and it's a nice other option if you want to break from small linear courses. In my opinion, the music in Bowser's Fury is a mixed bag. Some is just okay, and some is pretty good. Like for example, Fury Bowser's theme is really good, and I always enjoy it. It doesn't stick with jazzy Mario, but instead upbeat and playful Mario music, like Scamper Shores. But it's still a joy to listen to, and the music suits Lake Lapcat very well. And here are some of the good ones. The sound design is just as good as 3D World, nothing really to say about it, so overall, not the best Mario music, but I don't think it had to be. Like, this game wasn't supposed to be the best Mario game either, it's just an extra thing that comes along with a better Mario game. Boss fights in 3D World felt very fresh and new, and Bowser's Fury is sadly not the same. Its boss fights kinda disappointed me. Don't get me wrong, the Bowser fights are amazing, but the others, they're just bland and uncreative. Just more boom boom and pom pom fights. There's nothing to say about them, so I'll talk about the Fury Bowser fights. If you don't want to see the Bowser fight, skip to the Powerups. So these fights are the main ones, and they are pretty awesome. Giant Cat Mario versus Fury Bowser. And he has his Fury Blast and other attacks, and to defeat him, you wait for him to ground pound on his shell. While his shell is exploited, ground pound it. You will get shot by the water in Lake Lapcat, and a new section will open, which will have 3 new islands. The boss fights weren't as good as 3D World, but I don't think they needed to be. It's kinda hard to have a bunch of varied boss fights when Bowser's constantly after you. Power-ups are the same in this game, but handled a bit differently. They are everywhere and stored in the item bank. You can hold up to 5 of each power-up. Every time you get 100 coins, a random power-up is given to you. I really like how it's handled here, and it's a genius idea. This game was actually better in multiplayer than 3D World. Everything is open and you're both not on the ground, so there's a lot less bumping and falling to your death. It's pretty fun, not as good as when you're Bowser Jr., but he helps a lot, and I had a much better experience in Bowser's Fury. So I'd say you might have a better experience playing it first with friends or family, and they did a fantastic job with the multiplayer. So the conclusion. Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury is a phenomenal game. It is and will be the best 3D Mario this year, since I highly doubt a new one will be released. It is totally worth $60 and would still be worth $60 if it was just 3D World. I really enjoyed it and am very happy another 3D Mario game is on the Switch. So if you enjoy Mario, totally pick it up, it's a no-brainer.